are more lows ahead for Solana. It kind of looks like there might be some newer lows coming up. I'm looking at the daily chart for Solana right now. We're going to talk about what could happen in the next few days or weeks. I'm going to start by going to one of my favorite tools, that is tradingview.com. I'm going to look at their technical analysis. We'll scroll down and start on the 1-day time frame, where we see a neutral indicator. Oscillators are neutral with moving averages showing a buy. On the 1 week, we have a buy. Oscillators are neutral, moving averages a strong buy. And on the 1 month, we've got a buy with oscillators showing a sell and moving averages a strong buy. So let's get into what I see over the next few days or weeks for Solana. Now, to be very clear, let's zoom out on Solana. Let's see what we've been accomplishing over the last few months. That is, we were down here around 20 to 21 in October, saw a fantastic rise up to 126 or 127. That's 6 times. So Solana increased over 6 times in about 2.5 months. And of course, we're giving back some gains now, which is 100% to be expected. So everything I'm telling you right now in this video has to do with the short term. That is over the next few weeks / days. I am not talking anything about long term. Long term, let's be real clear. I am bullish on crypto. Long term, I am bullish on Bitcoin. And of all the coins that have done well in this run up from October to December, Solana stands atop as one of the champions. So Solana has been behaving perfectly. It's been behaving very well. And if you got into Solana back here in October, or were holding anytime from sometime in 2023, you have done magnificently. And I think we'll look back at this level right here at the end of 2024 on Solana and say this was a fantastic discount if you were to happen to get back in at 95 now. No, that's just my opinion on the matter. So that disclaimer out of the way, as far as I am bullish on Solana and crypto altogether, let's look at the daily. We had this fantastic run up, which was caused by this higher highs and higher lows. That's what this blue line, it looks like a dotted line for you. That's because the Fibonacci line is running on top of it. But imagine there's this higher high and this higher lows right here into this channel. In December, we skyrocketed out of that, and we have since kind of entered back into this channel as gains have been given back in January. This line right here, this green line, is a line I like to use. It's the Fibonacci line. So I drew from the lows in October to the very highs in December. And this 0.618 is the line I like to use to determine if a trend has reversed. We are still obviously had a big long uptrend here, and price is holding above that line. So I still consider us long-term in a nice upward long bull trend. So that's fine. But if you go down to kind of a short term and look at some of the prices we've been seeing, and this has been following Bitcoin. In some of my previous videos, I talked about the Bitcoin flush we had on January 3rd, where there was this false rumor coming out that the Bitcoin ETFs were going to be denied by the SEC. Well, that did damage across all of crypto, and Solana was no exception. That's this day right here. But then ever since then, we still had this steady decline until we had this rise up before a few days before the ETFs were approved. And then the ETF was approved here. The ETFs were approved on this Wednesday, and we hit a top and have been kind of, well, stagnating, if you will, ever since then. But if I look at this, one thing I'm noticing on the short term is here's a high, here's a low. We've got a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and we could be creating another lower low here. Now we're at a decision point right now, so let's just pause for a second. I do want you to pick up on the lower highs and lower lows I just mentioned. That's the indication of a downtrend. And so right now, since December, going on about 3 weeks now, we've been in a slight downtrend with Solana. Now, what I am seeing right here is an indecision point. We obviously have an indecision point right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw this trend line, actually, so you can see this. Look at this. that right there. And we're seeing that across all of the altcoins right now. We're seeing these lower lows, okay? And you could actually draw something like this right here to accompany it, and it would look something like that. I could shorten these lines, okay? And we could have a chart that kind of looks like this, something similar to that. And what we've got is this kind of diamond pattern, which indicates some kind of break in price is going to have to happen, because we've got this trend line going up here, but this trend line going down here, we're kind of getting into this small wedge of price, which indicates we're going to break up or we're going to break down over the next few days. Which way are we going to break? If I had to guess, we're going to touch this 87 line here before I certainly think we'll touch the 87 line before we make any higher highs. I just absolutely believe that. We've been going down ever since January, and we're kind of following Bitcoin's push and pull in the market just because there's nothing big happening in crypto right now. So I kind of see Bitcoin maybe falling out of this channel. I've switched to the daily on Bitcoin, falling out of this rising channel and tapping 40 and seeing how the market reacts there. We could go back up to this 44, 45 level before it does that. But I do think hitting 40 is going to happen in Bitcoin in the near future over the next couple of weeks. And I think Solana is just going to follow that and end up hitting 86, 87. If Bitcoin falls below 40,000, we might enter this range right here between 75 and 85, but that's to be seen. I can be wrong in this. I've been wrong in it before. If we break out of the top of this trend line and Bitcoin says, see you later, guys, I'm going back up to 45,000 and 47,000, which it could. You know, there's a lot of people calling for it to hit 40,000 right now, and I see that as a very possible outcome. But if anything is known in crypto, it's that nothing is known in crypto. And so I could wake up tomorrow and find Bitcoin challenging the 47 highs again. I just don't believe there is going to be that, because we've had such a fantastic run up. It seems like we need some time to regather. I mean, we've had this fantastic run up in Bitcoin from 27,000 up to a top of 49,000 in 2.5 months. That's a pretty big run up. That's a pretty big increase in Bitcoin. And since we're past this ETF approval euphoria, if you will, the possibility of that happening, well, it did happen, but we were buying into it, assuming it was going to happen. At least a lot of people seem like they were. And now they're taking profits and Bitcoin is sliding back down. It just makes sense that we're going to revisit the 40,000 level. And Solana looks like to me it's going to hit this 87. Now, all that means is if you want to get back into Solana or get into more of Solana, that might be a good point to do that. I don't push away the possibility of us going and hitting 75 over the next little bit. But fact is, we're at a decision point. I think soon we're going to break up or down. I don't think we'll range right here like this. I think it's either going to get into this level of ranging or we're going to start shooting back up to 100. But if I had to guess, I would say we're going to hit 86, 87 level here in the next few days and weeks. That's my guess on Solana. Now, again, to zoom out, we're doing everything looks beautiful. Everything looks just fine. There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Let me move this Fibonacci. Let me move this level here. Go ahead and delete that so we can get a clearer picture of the charts. I mean, goodness, you can't complain about this on a weekly. Even if we come back down here and hit 75, it's an absolutely 100% natural and beautiful price action movement after this run up right here. So there would be nothing wrong with us hitting 75 and then us continuing up to higher highs for Solana. Long term, we are A-okay. Everything's looking good. But I do think we'll hit 86 here in the next few days. I will keep this price activity updated for you with other videos here in the near future. Be sure to check back and we'll watch the price together. All right, y'all, take care.